Hello students, welcome again for the geography class. I'm Ritu Joshi, your geography teacher. Hope you are doing well. So students, you must have done the practice of the previous classes. As much as you will do the practice, you will understand better. Along with the last video, I gave you the link for the first chapter. I gave you the PDF as well as the question and answers. Do the question answers in your fair notebook. Okay, you have to make the interleaf register for the geography because you need to make the diagrams and the map work, right? And one more thing, class 8, I would like to tell you, you have topographic map in your first chapter, okay? And in exercise, questions related with that map is given. So what you can do that, I already gave you the solved answer, but you try to do it your own, okay? And then after you match with the answer which I gave you, okay? So with that, you will better understand. Few students ask me, ma'am, can you tell us again the contour cross section? Yes, once I will finish this population chapter, I'll give you one video for the grid reference, to understanding the grid reference as well as the contour cross section. Okay, so try to do more practice for the better understanding. So let's proceed with today's class. So students, come again with the second chapter of population. In the last class we did the population chapter, and today again we are going to the further part of this chapter. Okay, so let's proceed with the chapter population. So children, here you can see the learning from the last class, what we have learned in the last class. Population, what is population, what we call the population. Human resources, what are the human resource, size of population, overpopulation, underpopulation, impact of overpopulations, impact of underpopulation, distribution of population, factors influence the distribution of population. In the last class we covered all these parts from this chapter. Okay, hope you understood all the part of the chapter, and you already seen the last video carefully, so you better understood all these things in the chapter. So today I'm going to start the last topic which I left in the last class. Factors influence the distribution of population. Okay, I told you what are the factors, those are influence the distribution of population. Today we do this particular topic in a elaborate way. Students, today what we are going to learn today, here you can see in the screen learning from this class. Today we are going to learn physical factors, then non-physical factors, density of population, change in population size. So as I told you in the last class, I told you what are the factors influencing the distribution of population. Here we have to see these factors. Okay, so let's proceed with the class. Here first we have to come to the physical factors. Okay, what the name suggests, physical factors. Okay, which are actually present, which are visible is there. Okay, so the distribution of population are influenced by the various physical factors. Various physical factors are there. Those are responsible for the distribution of population. We already know that the distribution of population is in the world is not even. Okay, it means the population not evenly distributed. Somewhere large population is there, somewhere is very less population is there. Okay, so these are the physical factors, those influence the distribution of population. So what they are landforms, climate, soil, availability of water, mineral and power resources. Okay, so now we are going to elaborate all these physical factors. So here we have to take the first one, landforms. Landforms. So students, you must have know what are called the landforms in geography. Okay, physically in our land, whatever the natural landforms we have, what natural structures we have seen, these are called the landforms. Okay, so if we talk about the landforms, so first thing which come in our mind that the landform, those have a very high density of population is there, and this is plains. Plains have the highest concentration of population due to the flat land which is suitable for the agriculture, industry and development of transport facility. Okay, so if you see in the whole world, maximum concentration of population are there in the plain area. Wherever the fertile plains are there in the world, they are thickly populated. I mean, their population is more in comparison of other landforms. Okay, the reason behind that, they are the flat land where the agriculture is possible because the fertile soil is there. Industries are possible because of the flat land, and the development of transport facilities are there. So human try to live on those particular places where everything is easily available. Okay, so plains fulfill all the requirement of the humans. On the other side, we can see the plateaus are less populated. Few facilities are there in the plateaus because they are elevated, but their top part is flat tableland is there, where the plateaus are the storehouse of minerals. Okay, another thing is there, because of the minerals, industries are there. So somehow the populations are also residing in there. The people are also residing in the plateaus. Okay, but less in comparison the plain. Mountains have the lowest concentration of the population because the livelihood is very difficult in mountains, and the life is also very difficult in the mountains. Okay, so on the whole, the landform is one of the physical factor, which is the decided entity for the distribution of population. So now we have to come to the next physical factor which influence the distribution of population, which is climate. Climate is also responsible for the thickly or thinly populated uh, uh, of an area. Regions having extremely hot or cold climate are thinly populated. So are the regions that do not receive much rainfall, like deserts. Okay, we can see the examples like those area have a very cold climate is there. We can take the example of Antarctica, which is a frozen continent. There is no human inhabitants is there. We can see the Greenland in the northern hemisphere, which is also a frozen part of northern hemisphere. So that area is not highly populated. They are very thinly populated areas there. The reason behind that, their climatic conditions. Other reasons are those are not receive the very good rainfall. Okay, like the deserts, because the scarcity of water is there. The fertile land is not there. So the people are not preferred to live on those particular area. Okay, so climate is also one of the deciding factor to distribution of population. Okay. Now the next factor is soil and water. The areas with fertile soils usually support large populations. For example, river valley with fertile alluvial soil are densely populated. As I told you, maximum population of the world is dependent on agriculture. Okay, so people prefer to live on those particular area, those soil is fertile soil is there, where they can take the good production of agriculture. Like the area with a fertile alluvial soil, these particular areas are densely populated. Another factor is there is availability of water. As we know that water is the basic necessity of life. So human settlements always develop near the source of water. If you see from the ancient time, all the civilizations were developed near to the water, near to the river valleys. Okay, because the water is our first and foremost necessity of life. So wherever the abundant water is available, the people is densely populated. The population is densely populated there. Okay, so these are another deciding factors of distribution of population. So now we have to come to the last factor, which is mineral and power resources. For the modern time, where the society is developed a lot, the industries are developed a lot. So these are also very important factors. Areas that are rich in minerals and source of power usually support large population. Okay, as we see, plateaus are difficult to live, but they are the storehouse of minerals. Okay, industries are developed over there, so they are also thinly populated. Okay, so wherever the mineral sources are there and the of power usually support the large population. The discovery of minerals often encourage people to move the site of the discovery and settle there. Okay, wherever any mineral get discovered, the people migrate over that particular site and settled over there. We can take the one of the example is there is the example of that Jamshedpur, which was a very small town, is there like for the few years back. Okay, but after the when there the steel plant get developed over there, many people are migrated over there. Now it's converted to a large city. Okay, some of the examples are also there. The discovery of goldfield in North America, Australia and South Africa forced people to migrate over there and settled on those particular area. Okay, and those areas become the thickly populated. So now students, we can see the non-physical factors. Previously we have seen the physical factors like the landforms, climate, water, soil, mineral and power resources. Okay, so here we can see the non-physical factors. Some of the non-physical factors are also responsible for the distribution of population. So these are socio-economic factors and the cultural factors. Okay, so let's proceed in an elaborated way of these two factors. So now students, we have to come to the socio-economic factors. These are some socio-economic factors are there. Those are responsible for the distribution of population. So the first one is the political stability. If any of the country's stable political situations are there, the people would love to migrate over there. They would love to settle over there. So these are uh, thickly populated countries are there. We can take the example of Australia. We can take the example of Canada. We can take the example of USA. Okay, they are the developed country as well as they are politically stable. So people love to migrate over there. Second is the availability of educational and healthcare facility. If any of the country having the good facility of education and healthcare facilities are there, not the country, any of the place. In our country also people love to prefer on live on those particular places wherever the educational and the healthcare facilities are there. Another thing is there is the presence of industries and employment opportunity. Wherever in the present time, the time of COVID-19 or the pandemic time, we have seen the thousands of migrants are there. They would love they want to go back to their own places because they come to the big cities for the job opportunity, for the employment, because now in the present situation they doesn't have any employment with them, so they want to go back to their original places. Okay, so people are coming on those particular places. They migrated on those particular places where the livelihood is possible, where the employment opportunities are there, and that is available when the industries are there, when the job possibilities are there. Okay, so these are some socio-economic factors are there which also responsible for the distribution of population. So here we can take a look of cultural factors. Cultural factors is also somehow responsible for that. Like we can take the example of many of the cultural cities are there in India, like Haridwar, Varanasi. Okay, they are populated because of, they are crowded because it's a center of religion, learning and arts. Okay, so that's why people prefer to live on those particular cities. So here we can see the distribution of population. Okay, as I told you already that the distribution of population is not evenly the whole world. Some places are highly populated, some are very thinly populated is there. Okay, so they are not uniformly distributed everywhere. Okay, so here is one question: why northern hemisphere has more people than does the southern hemisphere? Do you know the answer of it? Yes, right. As most of the world's land is in northern hemisphere. Okay, if you see the world map, then you can find the division is there with the uh, equator. Then you can find that most of the land area is in there in northern hemisphere, and people can live only in the land. So that's why the more people are live on northern hemisphere, and because southern hemisphere having the less land area, so less people are living in southern hemisphere. So here in the picture you can see in this pie diagram that distribution of population is showing here. You can see the maximum populations are living in Asia. One of the reason is there is Asia is the largest continent of the world. Okay, and another reason is there the two most populous country of the world, India and China, is there in Asia. Okay, so 60% population is living in Asia. After Asia, the maximum population is there in Africa, which is 16%, then Europe 10%, then North America 8%, South America 5.5%, and Australia and other parts of the world, I mean the island groups are there, these are 0.5% populations are there. Okay, so this is the whole population distribution of the world is there. So here you can see the tally of the population is there on the the world about 7.4 billion people in the year 2016. According to the 2016, the world population was 7.4 billion. Okay, that was 4 years back. Now the much of change are there in the population. And then according to 2016, the 10 most populous countries are China, India, USA, Indonesia, Brazil, Pakistan, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia and Mexico. Here you can see the population comparison of these countries of the world. Now we come to the next topic after the distribution of population, which is density of population. So first we should know that what is density of population. Density of population is the number of people per unit area of land. Per unit area of land में जितने लोग रहते हैं, that is called the density of population. It is usually expressed as the number of person in every square kilometer of land. Okay, normally we express as number of people living in per square kilometer of land. Okay, if we see the whole land area of the world and the whole population of the world, then we can say the population density of the world is about 50 persons per square kilometer. Okay, which if we uniformly distributed the population of the world in the land area of the world, then 50% can live in per square kilometer. Okay, so this is the density of population. So here are some points about the density of population. The first, the density of population varies from place to place. Okay, everywhere the same density of population is not there. Okay, so as we see in the distribution of the population, the same is the density of population everywhere. Every area in the world is not crowded. Okay, so some area uh, are thinly populated, some are thickly populated is there. So here is the difference in the density of population. Okay, so that is different from place to place. Second, among the continent, Asia has the highest density of population while the Australia has the lowest. What is the reason behind that? I told you in the previous part when I showed you the pie chart, when I showed the 60% population of the world is living in Asia. Okay, so Asia, no doubt Asia is the largest continent of the world, but equally the population is also maximum in Asia. Okay, so the Asia having the highest density of population, Australia having the least number of population is there, which is 0.05%. So that's why Australia having the less density of population. Third, generally large cities, coastal areas, river basin are densely populated because these cities are having the, they are favorable for the people in all the way, like coastal areas, all the facilities are the climate is supportive. Okay, and the land is there for the agriculture. Large cities, the industries are there, employment opportunities are there, education facility, healthcare facilities are there. River basin, because of the fertile soil is there, so agriculture production is very high. So that's why these areas are densely populated everywhere in the world. Okay, wherever you go in all the countries of the world, the large cities, coastal areas and the river basins are densely populated, while the deserts, mountains regions and the forested area are sparsely populated, because the life is very difficult there. So that's why the less people prefer to live over there. Okay, so few more points are there about the density of population. A small country may have the high density of population even though its population is not large, because all its people are packed into a small area. Okay, we can take the example of UK. UK is a very small country. Okay, but every place is UK is not having the similar population. Okay, the density of population is different. If you see the population of London and other area of that country, then you can find the density of population is different, because a large number of people are packed in a small area. Second, hence some of the smallest countries like Monaco, Singapore, Bahrain and the Vatican City have the highest population density in the world. Okay, though they have a very small areas there, they are the very small countries, and they have a small land areas there, but the more people are packed in a small area, so they have a very highest population density in the world. Now we come to the last topic of today's class, which is change in population size. So first we have to take a look at what is change in population size. An official counting of population is known as census. When any of the country do the official counting of their population, that is called the census. This year in our country, every 10 years the counting of population has done, and this is the 10th year is there, and the census has to be done this year, but because of the COVID-19 it get postponed, maybe for the next year, maybe for this end of this year. So when the official counting of a country is done, that is known as census. Second, it is done periodically to show changes in population size. As I told you, in our country, every 10 years, the counting of population is done, because it shows that how much changes is there in 10 years of long time in the population. At present, the human population of the earth is more than 7.5 billion. As I told you, in 2016, the world population has counted, and accordingly 7.5 billions people were living at that time in the world. The population has grown to size over a long period of time, and in this present size 7.5 billion, it take a long time to come in this particular size. So students, hope you all understood the different factors. Those are influence the distribution of population. Okay, as well as you must have learned the terms of density of population. Okay, and another thing is what is census, how the changes has to become in the population, what is the population distribution of the world is there. Okay, so we just take a quick recap what we did today, what we learned today. These are physical factors, non-physical factors, density of population, change in population size. And students, one more thing I would like to tell you. Then along with the last video, I gave you one link also, where you can find your first chapter as well as the question and answer and exercises of first chapter. What you need to do that, you have to do question and answer. These are the solved question and answers are there that you need to do in your fair notebook. Okay, when the school will get open, the teachers will check that particular notebook for the question and answers. Another thing I would have to suggest you, in the chapter, the PDF I have given, there is a one topographic map is there. Okay, on the basis of that topographic map, some questions are given in the exercise. So first of all, you have to try to solve those question and answers yourself. Okay, after solving the question and answers related with the topographic map, you have to match the answer which I have given you. Okay, I gave you the solved answers are there. After doing yourself, you have to match your answers Okay, and if any difficulty is there, then you again have to do 4-figure grid reference. What you need to do for the 4-figure grid reference? You first have to read the numbers of vertical line, then read the numbers of horizontal line. Okay, so do it yourself. Exercises you have to mark in your chapter. Okay, exercises need not to do in the copy. Okay, once you will purchase the books, you have to mark in your book all the exercises. Okay, so hope you understood the whole chapter. Do more and more practice for the better understanding of this chapter and the previous chapters. So children, hope you understand well the whole population chapter. So maximum part of this chapter is completed. Only little bit part is left, which I will complete in my next video or my next class. Okay, so till that time you will have to understand well this chapter. Try to watch the videos again and again for the better understanding. Okay, and along with the last video, I will give you the whole chapter PDF as well as the question and answer of this chapter. So till that time, happy learning to you. Thank you.